What's the difference between coaching and training?
Very, very simple. The difference between training and coaching is practice.
Yeah.
Point blank. If you're not practicing with your people, you're not coaching them. You would never call someone a coach if they didn't practice. You wouldn't call someone who just stood around on your team a coach. You'd call them a trainer because they don't practice, right? So practice is what makes you a coach. Training, and then I'll talk about training and teaching because there's a difference there too, right? So you have coaching. That means there's practicing with feedback. You did it. I gave you feedback. You did it again. I gave you feedback. You did it again. I gave you feedback. That's coaching. Training is the sharing of knowledge with engagement. Yep. So I'm sharing information. I'm sharing knowledge, but there's engagement, right? Like, what would you do here? How would you do this? A lot of people confuse that with coaching. That's still not coaching. That's training, right? Teaching goes up one more level where I'm just sharing information. There's no engagement. There's no how would you, when would you, what would you change here? It's just straight up. And then you've got telling. Hey, Jason, on your next call, I need you to do this. Most managers confuse coaching with telling. Hey, Jason, listen to a couple of your calls. Like, we keep hitting this objection. Do this on your next call. And oftentimes the rep actually goes, oh, that's great. Awesome. I will. Not only was that not coaching, it wasn't training because there wasn't engagement. It wasn't even teaching because you didn't explain why. That is simply telling. Telling is not how you get people better. So if we wanted to use that example, like, hey, Jason, I listened to some of your calls. We're getting hit with this objection, and then we're clamming up. Okay. Here's a way I think we could handle that objection that would keep the conversation going. Here's why. We're bringing up their problem. We're making sure we're connecting the dots. We're leaning into some industry knowledge that we have. So if we handle it this way, it should allow us to continue the conversation. Does that, you follow me here? Like, you feel how that would work? Do you understand the impact that would have? No, yeah, okay, that makes sense. Awesome. So let's do this a couple times real quick. Hey, no, sorry, we already used somebody. Do it. Oh, I loved it. Our tone was strong there, but remember, we want to end on a question. We said the statement, we forgot to end on a question. Let's do it again. We already used somebody. Now, in that same 10-minute interaction, I've taught, trained, and coached in a small 10-minute segment. This doesn't always need to be 30 minutes blocked on the calendar. Any interaction can turn into a coaching interaction as long as you're doing it with them and giving them feedback.